guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. I am here at the 2024 edition of the New York Auto Show, and big unveils are happening here, and this is one of them. What is it? This is a 2025 Polestar 4. But before we get into this performance electrified vehicle, let's talk about what's going on here. Polestar. Once upon a time, in a galaxy far, far away, it was a clear association what Polestar was. It was the performance sub-brand of Volvo, that Swedish auto manufacturer. Since electrification has been coming more and more into the industry, Volvo and Polestar decided not to part ways, but to make a clear separation between the two brands. When you think Volvo, and especially Volvo electrified performance, you want to think Polestar, because Polestar is what is going to be leading the forefront, not only with, like I said, performance electrified vehicles, but also vehicles that have that extended range. Now, it all started, of course, with the Polestar 1. We've reviewed with you the Polestar 2, and if you haven't seen that review, I'll leave it at the end of this one. On the heels of Polestar's first crossover SUV, known as the Polestar 3, we now have this version, the Polestar 4. So what I want to do is I want to find out if you're looking for a luxury performance spec sedan, this is not an SUV, sedan that is electrified, is this the best way to go over the competition like the Porsche Taycan, and obviously, I'm going to say it even though it makes my stomach hurt, the Tesla Model S. Let's go ahead, let's dive into this Polestar 4 and find out if this is the one you should get. Right off the bat, the style. I really admire what Polestar is doing with their design, because it's sort of like one of those things where function and form actually work very well together. At the front of the business, look at our signature lighting, signature LED daytime running lamps that are not only up top, but then also drip into the lower housing where you would find your multi-LED beam headlights. You do have some functional aero for your corner air curtains, a little bit of flat black and a little bit of gloss black, but this color, this pearlescent white, sparkles like a diamond underneath the Javits lights. Now, as I kind of shimmy on my knees across the front, you could see, like I said, a very unique style to the front of the Polestar 4. Down below, we have this large gloss black functional air intake. This is for cooling for the lithium-ion battery packs. You do have a little bit of aluminum finish, and then the rest gloss black. And then what's nice to see is the forward-facing camera. Now, as we rise up, look at our Polestar badge. It's actually illuminated with very thin LED lighting. Very cool to see that, especially at night coming down the road. And then, of course, underneath, you're gonna have a front-mounted trunk underneath the hood. Now, the great news is you'll be able to get your Polestar 4 two different ways. Dual motor, which is gonna be all-wheel drive, or single motor, which is gonna be rear-wheel drive. But I'm gonna have Lori kind of just accentuate the style of the front end of this vehicle, because everywhere you look, it's got some really beautiful lines. So with the single motor, it's gonna be 268 horsepower. With the dual motors, which is what we have in front of us, 536 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Now, if you're concerned about range, with the single motor, it's 310 miles. With the dual motor, it's 280 miles. Fast charging, you could go from 10 to 80% charge in just 30 minutes, and the vehicle weighs around 5,300 pounds. So nice, like I said, to see the option between the single motor and the dual motor setup. But let me know how you feel about the front of it. I'm really digging this. Maybe not as much as a Taycan, but definitely much more style than that round jelly bean look of the Teslas. And if you're wondering, if you hear screeching tires in the background, remember, here on Raiti's Rides, a screeching tire is a happy tire. Polestar is actually doing some drives in these loops inside the Javits Center, because remember, an EV doesn't have any emissions. Now, as we come around the bend, get ready for some awesome wheels. 22-inch wheel, machine aluminum, gloss black. I love the way they have the cover that just cleans up where all the lug nuts are located. Like I said, 22 inches in diameter. We have these ginormous gold brick right out of Fort Knox Brembo 6-piston calipers. Even a little bit of gold touch on the cap for where you put your air in your tires. Now the size of this tire is 265 on the width, 40 series sidewall. Of course, you're gonna have different levels of regen braking, and you have adaptive performance suspension. I think one of the things that I like the most, everything is painted. Nothing flat black. Now, as we come closer to the side, I'm gonna have Lori kind of swing around and show you this aerodynamic piece that houses your cameras. So you're gonna have cameras throughout this whole vehicle. This is for your blind spot camera when you turn on your turn signals. And I also like the way it tells you this has got a 100 kilowatt hour battery pack. So nice to see that increased power from the battery. We do have power folding mirrors that are color matched on the top, LED turn signals, and then look at all the cameras everywhere. Like I said, more cameras than what you would find at Radio Shack. Up top, you're gonna have a panoramic fixed glass roof. And then because we're here at the show and they want us to go inside, we do have the door handles extended. When you're zooming down the road, these handles will go flush against the body. When it comes to shape, a lot of these shapes are because of cutting down the drag of wind resistance. But what you'll see is the beautiful shapes also give you design element with the lower portion of the doors and this side skirt extension that flows all the way back towards the rear. Like I said, this particular one has dual motors, all-wheel drive, and then when we spin it around back, love how clean everything looks. The way it just glides over the rear of the vehicle, your third brake light hidden, so clear, and you do get a backup camera as well for the mirror, digital rear view mirror, because as you can see, there's not much glass back here. It's all painted and sealed off. This is gonna have functional aero. I can't wait to take this for a drive. Working our way down, same thing, the way they just like flare out the back looks fantastic. The LED lighting all the way across. And then of course our Polestar badge. And then working our way down, super clean on the bottom bumper area. And they actually have a diffuser here to make it suck down to the ground. But why don't we go ahead, let's get inside and see what this Polestar 4 is bringing. All right, guys, we're inside this 2025 Polestar 4. Pretty amazing what Polestar has done since we first drove a Polestar 2 to this moment in time right now. Now, I know you're probably saying to yourself, well, Joe, how much is this? Basically, starting price is gonna have an MSRP right around $60,000, which seems to be the going rate for EVs of this size and this performance. But I really feel like you're getting a little bit more with this Polestar. Another thing that's great is, of course, having the choice of the rear-wheel drive or the all-wheel drive. But let's see what Polestar has brought to the interior to make the Polestar 4 very special. To the door panels, all sustainable materials. I'm really digging this hard cloth that's around the upper portion that sort of like off-white goes nicely with the bluish gray. On the armrest, you'll notice all the stitching. Nice aluminum finishes for the window control. You see that metal at the front of the armrest? That's to open up the door. Really nice to have those touches. Sustainable materials. We have a 16-speaker Harman Kardon sound system. And then check out that door pocket. You'll be able to get your cage-free chicken parm sub, 12 inches, no problem in there. Now going from the door panel to the dash, same thing. I'm really digging this. It almost feels like plastic because of the recycled materials. This feels like wetsuit material, nice and soft, not gonna create any glare in your face. And then you'll notice that we have that bridge system of a center console. Down below, they actually have two cup holders and two cup holder holders. So you can hold your bottles in place as you're going through the twisty bits. Here's where you're gonna be able to keep your fanny pack. Maybe you'll put your Chicago Bulls hat that you had signed by Michael Jordan when he won his last championship with the Bulls. You could keep that right here. I know that doesn't make a lot of New York Knicks fans happy, but you know, it is what it is. Jordan is the greatest of all time. Yes, better than LeBron. Screen size, over 15 inches in screen size, full touchscreen capability. I like the way you can learn a little bit about our solar system if you forgot this stuff back in elementary school. And you know what? To me, it doesn't have it here, but to me, Pluto is still a damn planet. It's not a dwarf planet or whatever the hell they call it now. Pluto is still a planet, but it's not here. This is for the ambient lighting. You could actually change the different lighting based off of what planet do you want to be on? Do you want to go Saturn or do you want to go Uranus? Or a lot of people say Uranus. In the solar system with the lighting, we can go into our different drive setups with our safety technology, all the different shortcuts. Oh, look, there's our Polestar 4, looking good. You could open the charge port door. You have dual climate control, which is great. This takes you right back to all the car settings with interior, exterior, and everything in between. AC vents, you have to control through the screen, and that's a zonk because I want to be able to do my vents. You go like this and you move it, but I want to be able to just move the vents. Wireless charging, love the aluminum finish. Got a real volume knob. Slide that aluminum door open. 2 more cup holders. So if you're very thirsty, the Polestar 4 may be the vehicle for you. I'm digging the colors. I really, really am. Makes it light and airy in here. Open this guy. What do we got going on? Ooh, 2 USB-Cs and enough room in there, I would say, for 4 Rubik's Cubes. Remember, what's great about a Rubik's Cube is it could actually entertain your kids and it uses no electricity. That is earth-friendly. That's eco-friendly. And I think that they make Rubik's Cubes today out of recycled plastic from water bottles. So you're going to save the dolphins, the turtles, and every other sea creature out there and play with your cubes. It's a win-win. Seats, love the material. Obviously, this is not leather. It's vegan leather. Save the cows. Nice grippy cloth. Bolstering, full electric assist for the passenger, electric assist for the driver. That beautiful panoramic roof. Even though it doesn't open, it's still beautiful. And then you do have the gold, solid gold belts. That's worth an extra 5 horsepower or 5-mile range. You choose. Coming over here to the business side, I want to show you behind the all-new steering wheel in this Polestar 4. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You'll notice that you do get a simple sill plate with the Polestar badge. It does not light up, though, so that is a zonk. I do like the seat controls. Easy to configure and get it to contort to your body type. And then the steering wheel. Flat bottom. You do have some gloss black on the switch gear, but you know what? I like the way it's got that haptic kickback. The Polestar badge, it is tilting and telescoping on the steering wheel, and what's great is that it is electric. And then you'll see that up top we have that small digital cluster with all the important information, and you have your column shifter. So this is how you shift your direct drive transmission, and we have a 14-inch HUD head-up display. But why don't we go ahead? It's not just about the people up front. Let's get in the back seat and see how much room there is in this Polestar 4. All right, guys, backseat time. And it's interesting because you would think with this sleek, sporty design, you would have to decapitate yourself to sit in the back seat, but you don't have to be like Anne Boleyn and King Henry VIII and all that. You get to sit here, keep your head, keep your wits, very nice and comfortable. Backs of the seats, I like the performance spec of them, and I like the way that they give you this information about made from zero waste. One thing I don't like are these pesky nets. So definitely gonna zonk that. Super low floor in here because this is a BEV. And then you have your full touchscreen for everything in the back seat, 2 USB-Cs. I'm telling you, I'm 6 feet tall. I got more room than I do on some planes that we fly on to all these different events. And then of course this will actually come down eventually if I pull it right, but I don't think I'm doing it right, Lori. So we're gonna have to pretend that this comes down. I think they have it locked into place because we're at the show and they don't want people to steal the armrest. So armrest does fold down and you get access into the trunk, but it's interesting how there's no rear window. That to me is crazy. It's all this microfiber suede material. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the trunk and see how much room there is in this Polestar. All right, guys, time to get in the trunk. I like the way they hide the button at the back of the Polestar 4. You just hit that, just rises up nice and smooth. And what's great is you're gonna be given a generous amount of room because if you think about this, it's a hatchback, but crazy how there's no rear glass. That blows my mind. But look at what we have. Plenty of room up top. You do have a 12 volt on the driver's side. and of course the cargo net for your box of Twinkies. On the passenger side, we have the subwoofer of that 16 speaker Harman Kardon sound system. And then, wow, look at what they did. Lori, because of the show, they didn't want us to open this up. They actually screwed this down. So obviously, that's not how your Polestar 4 is going to be. But when the vehicle's on display, they don't want people, a lot of times, and it just depends. During shows, sometimes people get very sticky fingers and they want to take things. They want to take souvenirs home. That's why they got it literally bolted down here at the Javits Center. But let me know what you think about this Polestar 4. Very interesting, coming on the heels of their first SUV, the Polestar 3, having something that's sporty, that has the performance, but yet you have the choice of where you want to go with range. Let me know in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raity's Rise family. Of course, we need to give it to LG Raiti, Lori Raiti. She makes things happen. Makes people get louder, makes people get quieter, makes people get out of her way. So thank you, Lori, for being the amazing person that you are. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.